And welcome back to Who Would Win this Wednesday. Recorded on Tuesday, Who Would Win comes to us from... Where's the person that gave me this one? Oh, God. Where is the person that gave me this one? 1 second. Brandon Overs... Oh, God. Brady over... Oh, man. I'm butchering the person who gave me the suggestion's name. I apologize for that. I thought I wrote it down better than what I really did. But unfortunately, it's my handwriting's pretty atrocious right now. I apologize. But anyway, you gave me the suggestion of Jayden Cunningham, the 9th grade ninja, if I'm not mistaken, that's the name of the character. Randy Cunningham, 9th grade ninja, versus Jayden Shiba, who was the Red Ranger from Power Rangers Samurai Rangers, from Power Rangers Samurai. He was the Red Samurai Ranger. So I never watched either of those. I was like early series Power Rangers myself, so none of the later stuff I'm familiar with really at all, except for seeing commercials. And the odd crossover video on YouTube where it's like, oh, look at all these guys coming together. It's like, oh, that's cool, nostalgia, woo. But, so Randy Cunningham is a 9th grader who is apparently a ninja. He's not that bright, but he's also not that dumb either. Academically, he's not a smart individual, but when it comes to his ninja skills, he's quite intelligent. His combat style is kind of described as a free flow style, so anything goes, use whatever he can in combat. Carries numerous ninja weapons on him, including a samurai sword, nunchucks, katanas, smoke bombs, shuriken, the works. And really, he's a ninja. That's pretty much all you can really go. He is a ninja, and that's the program he's a part of. He is a ninja. He's fighting ninjas. So, or he's fighting, Attack of the Killer Potatoes. Which was an episode I saw looking him up. So there you go. That's pretty much the best I can give you on that character, is that he is a 9th grade ninja. There you are. So Jayden Shiba, let's see here, one quick second here. It was trained as a samurai as a boy. He became the Red Ranger, Power of the Samurai. I'm trying to find an age for him. How old is he depicted at? Because most of the Power Rangers, despite the fact they are played by 20-some-odd-year-olds, are supposed to be in their teens. And I can tell you right now, 9th grade, that means Jayden is 9th grade, that means Randy is at oldest 16. No, oldest 15, youngest 14, depending on what year he's in, or when he starts. So, but I mean, you can try to justify it all you want. These characters are a lot older than 15. Like, youngest I'm willing to give these characters is maybe, and I'm just looking at a picture of him for 2011. Guy looks like he's in his mid-20s. He admittedly looks a little younger as it went on, and as a child. But weird, yeah, he looked older in 2011 than they did 12 and 14. So, figure that out. But the youngest I'm going to give them is 18. That's the youngest I'll give him. As a Power Ranger, he's trained in martial arts, obviously, or has access to martial arts ability. Later gets training from him. But he's also trained as a samurai in this version of the Power Rangers, so you have that as well. He has super enhanced strength, physical ability. He's got, obviously, he's got access to the morphing grid, as far as I know, it does change up where their powers come from. So I can't really say for certain if he gets access to the morphing grid. Again, this is Power Rangers Samurai. I do not know for certain. He also has several weapons. He has, including his samurai discs, which I'm guessing are throwing disc. A disc buckle, a spin sword, fire smasher, which is part of his spin sword. Power discs are animation discs that are stones. There are stores that store symbols that use for the spinning sword. Its various forms and the Zords. Rangers initially have a standard disc and the power discs based off their animal Zords. These discs are tied to their Zords and have been lost but been regained. Okay, whatever. So discs do some power stuff for the sword. His spinning sword, which is basically what he can insert the disc into to give the sword more power. The spinning sword, exactly. These attacks can be executed His element apparently seems to be more of fire-based than anything else. So yeah, so he has fire-based attacks to go with that. Not to mention he has access to his own Zord, so let's be clear about that. Because he also has many different forms that he takes apparently in this show, including, but not limited to, the Samurai form, the Standard Ranger form, Mega form, Super Samurai, Super Mega, Shark Attack, Shark Attack Mega, Shogun, and Illusion. I am not going to go over all of them because the more I talk, the more obvious this matchup becomes. And he also has access to Legendary Ranger devices. The Red Samurai Ranger key is Jay's personal Ranger key. Along with the majority of Ranger Corps are seen lining a command. This key is mainly used by Troy Burrows, who uses it to fight as the... Oh, no, someone else used it to fight as the Red Ranger. Yeah, that doesn't really matter. So he doesn't actually have access to it. Either way, look, I'm not expert on either of these. I watched Power Rangers as a kid, so I do have at least some relative knowledge on the Power Rangers. Going into later generations, I can only go by the information I have. I'm not going to sit and watch an entire seasons of a series just so I can do one who would win. Not going to do, especially if it's a series I had no interest in watching. I have no interest in watching most of the Power Rangers these days. And I've never watched Randy, Randy, 9th grade ninja. But let's be honest here. Randy's kind of outmatched. Let's say this fight happens. For some reason, he decides to duke it out with the Red Ranger. And for some reason, Jayden decides to oblige him, as Aldel Rain would say from Inglourious Bastards. So, in a straight hand-to-hand fight, it's clear Jayden's going to have the advantage. He was trained as a samurai. We're trained not just in swordplay, but in martial arts as well. He has martial arts experience being one of the Rangers. That's going to be a given regardless. So that fight will take place. Any weapon that gets thrown at him might hurt, but because he doesn't wield any sort of magical devices or any superpowered weapons, Randy does not have anything to really, and he's not enhanced physically or anything like that to the point where the Rangers are. He has no real means of taking on a Ranger one-on-one. This isn't like, say, like they did the Red Ranger versus Leonardo at one point. Leonardo physically is much more built to take on like a Ranger because he actually has enhanced physicality. But he's just a ninth. He's only, also the fact that he's 15 is the oldest means that he's only a teenager. He's still developing. Whereas these kids, I don't care if they're teenagers. Again, youngest I'll take him is at 18. At 18, physically speaking, you might develop a little bit more, but you're usually done. You usually hit kind of where you're going to be unless you start working out a lot and stuff like that. So that's kind of where you are. So already, even if we didn't have the physicality of the Ranger on his side, Jayden still got the physicality of an older, more experienced fighter on his side. Then you get into weapon expertise. Yeah, the one thing Randy may have on his side for an advantage is diverse weaponry. But again, it's not weaponry that's ultimately going to do much because, their suits, they absorbs a lot of damage. Those sparks you see is coming off of like the morphin grid and stuff like that, and taking a lot of the damage. But obviously, I don't believe the morphing grid continues to exist after a while. It's like different forms of the morphing grid, different reasons they can morph, different reasons they're Power Rangers. So Jayden will just ultimately take everything that Randy is ditching out, throw it back to him tenfold, more or less, maybe not tenfold, but throw it back in his face and pretty much win the fight without too much difficulty. It's really not a good matchup for Randy just because he's going up against a guy who's part of a team that's dedicated to saving the world on multiple occasions. Sometimes even the galaxy. Maybe not the universe, but definitely the world. These guys are planet savers for a reason. So, yeah, ultimately, Randy loses this fight, in my opinion, pretty wholehandedly. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't watch these shows at all. So I'm just going by the information I have. It was a suggestion. It was a request. That's why I did it, obviously, because that's why I do any of these, is that they're all suggestions now. And you guys are pretty much fueling the channel, is what you're doing. If you want me to stop doing what I'm doing, you must stop giving me requests. I'm sure some of you who don't want me to keep doing what I'm doing don't give me requests, but I hate to say it, a lot of you give me requests, which I appreciate that. Everyone, the people who actually want to see my content, I appreciate it. It's not like it's the greatest content in the world. If I'm going to be honest, I do the best I can. I'm proud of most of the stuff that I do on the meager abilities I have, but let's be honest, my stuff, you could be watching better stuff. You could be doing better things with your time, probably, but I appreciate that you spent your time with me. Anyway, though, yeah, I gotta go Jayden on that one. Jayden Shiba, in my opinion. But what do you think? Put in the comments below, let me know. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know the review of it at some point. And ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Superhero, Magic, what if, anything to do with the channel. Put that in the comments below as well. I'll get to that at some point. Hit that bell if you want notifications. I'll be back in a little bit with actually another who would win. Why? I'll explain it in the next video.